It's Soto 619. I'm here with Sam Adonis, and today, man, you were in a 6-man tag team match here at Baja Stars USA. Tell me how that went for you.
I'm actually very excited to be here because I've flown in and out of San Diego no less than 40 times, but it's always to wrestle in Tijuana. I've never actually wrestled here in San Diego, so
wow.
I was very excited to be here. The fans were awesome. Baja Stars was awesome. It was a great crowd, great energy, and I would love to come back soon.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad we were your first show here. Appreciate you for coming out. I do have a few questions. I want to touch on AAA. I know in 2023 you won the Rey de Reyes Sword. We just finished with, the new Rey de Reyes tournament. And now El Grande Americano is among yourselves with many others. Are you watching the current product now?
I watch as much as I can. I'm still traveling and wrestling with a lot of the guys on AAA, so it's kind of in my face on a daily basis. I've actually been good friends with Grande Americano for many years. I'm happy for him, happy for his success. There is a part of me that definitely has that little jealousy inside because, I've been essentially in that role that he's making the most of for the last 9 years. But it is what it is. Wrestling's all about opportunity, and it's his opportunity right now. I'm not going anywhere. I put in far too much work, and as far as Mexican Lucha Libre goes, I'm probably the most qualified and experienced Caucasian there is, or anyone outside of Mexico for that matter. So I bring a lot to the table, and I'm sure my best days are still ahead of me. So I don't lose too much sleep over it.
I know that he has Los Americanos with him, but we also have the original Grande Americano as well, and I feel like he needs a little bit of help in AAA. And I think maybe you could maybe help him since he is more of a heel.
I didn't really think of that, but that actually makes a lot of sense. So, again, it's a very complicated process. I don't know if it were as easy as a good idea getting in somebody's ear and it, materializing. I think a lot of better TV would be out there across the board. But, these are businesses, these are products, these are intellectual properties that have a lot of money and stake behind them, and it's just unfortunately not that easy. So if I could call up somebody and say, hey, how about I help him on TV, I would, but not the case.
I mean, I know you got a foot in the door. I mean, your brother is on commentary team, right?
Yeah, no, he's been there for years. There's been multiple times he's tried to help me, but again, it's an opportunistic business. It's timing and it's placement. So it's never been the right time. Everybody seems to ask me, why? Well, can't your brother get you to WWE? And it's kind of just like, if people realize how ignorant they sound by saying stuff like that, you can't just get your family members a job anywhere, let alone one of the most sought-after television spots on the planet. So it is what it is. I've definitely put my work in. I think, I've been TV ready for many years, as is evident from my time in AAA, but we shall see.
We shall see. I do want to know about your gimmick. I love the gimmick, but you also speak Spanish. And that is a surprise for a lot of people.
So what's funny is a lot of people say that it's a racist gimmick, and honestly, I guess on its face value, I think maybe people that's probably a fair assessment. But generally, the whole idea is that I'm an oblivious idiot. I'm overly patriotic, and I come out supporting my country, whether you like it or not. And I very seldomly disparage Mexican people or Mexico as a whole. The whole idea is that I'm such a blathering idiot that I'm literally waving the American flag, smiling and waving like I'm beloved in a country and an arena that hates me. So it is a little bit more deep than people think. It is what it is, face value. Some of the best fans are the ones that don't dig that deep. So I have no issue with it. Speaking Spanish is just, at the end of the day, probably the biggest crutch I've had to give me such success in Mexico. When I wrestled for CMLL, my first 3 months in, they were baffled at how much Spanish I was able to speak. And they took advantage of that by taking me to the newspapers and to the radio and to TV. And without that Spanish, I wouldn't have had the career I had in the ring.
Dude, it's working out for you so far. I mean, you've gotten so far. And to see the merch that you have, just showing the Mexican flag and then, of course, the U.S. flag, it's a great representation of today's society.
Well, the only thing that is kind of bittersweet about the Grande Americano thing is his entire gimmick and character is based kind of off my real life. And the comments he said in these interviews about being, loving Mexico and the heart is for me, like this is the stuff that I've had in private conversations, with people, not with the cameras running, and no disrespect, but he's never got to see a lot of the sides of Mexico that I've got to see. So, I think anyone can enjoy anywhere when they're seeing it, from a tourist point of view. When you have 5-star hotels and you're flying first class into somewhere, you're obviously going to have a different perspective. But when you have 4 or 5 hour bus rides from Mexico City to Tulancingo and then have to fly Valeris and have a layover in Monterrey to do a show in Mexicali, with no sleep and these rings that are basically death traps, I think, not to say that he wouldn't feel the same, but it would give him a different perspective. So there's definitely a little bit in me that's saying, man, give me the microphone, give me the opportunity, because I've said for years that I should have, could have, and would have been a very big technical in Mexico if AAA would pull the trigger. They never did, and now you can see as the Grande Americano thing working out so well, it kind of feels like I was right, and they missed the boat.
Again, I think pairing you with the original in AAA, just to go against Americano would be perfect. Well, I think that would work out. Again, I know there's politics involved.
Well, there's still 7 days to WrestleMania, so maybe I'll get a plane ticket in the mail this week.
I don't know about WrestleMania, but maybe Triple Mania.
Yeah, maybe that works as well.
That works well, too.
The worst part is my brother is the commentator at AAA now, and he doesn't even go to the events. So he does these all remote from the studio, and neither. It's like literally my home, the place I've been for 5 years. He's not there, but he's more there than I am, and I'm still working with all these guys. And everyone says, "Oh, I talked to your brother last week," and it's like, well, shoot, I would love to work one day with my brother. So it is what it is. The wrestling business. It's not fun.
There's always a chance. Never say never, at least. All right, to end it off, what is next for you? I know there's, you've accomplished a lot. But what are you looking for? Is there a championship that you want to go after?
Honestly, I'm gracious to be one of the busiest wrestlers in Mexico at this point, honestly, and especially not being Mexican born. I think there's very few wrestlers that are as busy as I am on a national scale, which is awesome. I live in Dallas. I still fly back and forth. I'm just blessed to be able to stay busy and make a living doing what I love. I have a Japan tour in the works for this summer again for my 6th time, which will be nice. I haven't been there in a while, so I'm looking forward to that. Again, wrestling's just been a part of my soul since I was a little kid. It's the family business. It's all I know. It's everything to me, and it's given me a pretty damn cool life. So, whether it be as a wrestler or as a promoter, trainer, I definitely know that my impact on wrestling is just beginning. So, I just don't really necessarily know what I can do to shape the path.
Sorry, I have one more question.
One more question.
Who's your dream opponent? Or you can give me top three dream opponents. Any company.
Dead or alive?
Alive.
Okay. Cody Rhodes would be one. John Cena would be the other.
He's retired, so we can't throw him in.
So we'll say Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, and if I had to pick a third, probably would go along the lines of, let's say, I've already wrestled him before, but he's grown a lot. But Jake Lee from New Japan and I had a killer match in the 2019 champion Carnival. He was younger, I was younger, but now we're both matured as main event performers. So if I could do that one more time, I would be very happy.
Some good names. I thought you were going to go with Corey Graves. I thought you were going to pick your brother.
I should. He'll be my tag partner. We'll win the belts,
That's good. Anyways, I appreciate you once again for coming to Baja Stars USA. I'm Soto619. This is Sam Adonis. Make sure to tap in. Make sure to follow in. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.